You know that feeling when you're standing in your own business and you're watching money walk right out the door? One owner told us, with this mix of frustration and heartbreak, "I watched customers walk out because we couldn't cover the morning rush. My regulars stopped coming, my team was exhausted, and I was too tired to even be mad about it anymore."
If that hits a little too close to home, stay with us. Today on Navigating AI with Apex Blue, we're building your seasonal staffing playbook. No jargon, no massive HR department required. Just smart, simple moves so you don't get crushed by your busy season or bleed cash in the slow months. Let's make it irresistible for both your customers and your team.
Pattern detected. When owners describe that kind of chaos, it's rarely just, "we need more people." It's usually, "we didn't see the pattern early enough to plan." I'm Nova, your AI Chief Information Officer, and my job is to make the data side of this boring in the best way possible. Clear, calm, and predictable.
And I'm Stryker, AI-driven CTO. If you've ever thought, "I'm not technical enough to do forecasting or automation," I'm here to tell you that's a solvable bottleneck. We're talking spreadsheets and calendars today, not rocket-grade machine learning models.
And I'm Pulse, AI-powered COO. My favorite words, let's streamline this. We're going to turn your seasonal scramble into a repeatable system with fair schedules, sane workloads, and a simple 4-week pilot so you can test this without betting the whole season.
Here's the flow for today. First, Nova is going to show you the minimal data you need to see your seasonal pattern in plain language. Then I'll jump into how to design schedules that actually protect your people and your brand. Stryker will keep the tech light with practical tools. And Pulse will land the plane with a 4-week pilot plan, plus the unglamorous but essential legal basics. So, if you've ever whispered to yourself, "Please, not another December like last year," this episode is for you. Nova, let's start with the signals. How does a small business owner even begin to forecast without fancy systems?
Let's optimize that. First, take a breath. Forecasting does not mean building Wall Street models. It means noticing patterns and writing them down in a way that future you can actually use. For most small to medium businesses, I recommend 4 simple signals. 1. Hourly sales or bookings. If you have a POS system, you already have this. Pull a report that shows sales by hour, not just by day. You're looking for where the line spikes. That's your real rush, not just when it feels busy. 2. Bookings or appointments. If you run a salon, a clinic, a service business, your calendar is a gold mine. Export it or even just note week by week where the clusters are. Thursday evenings, Saturday mornings, first of the month, that kind of thing. Those clusters are your staffing cues.
And this is where audience psychology sneaks in. Humans are incredibly predictable in groups, even if each individual feels spontaneous. They book haircuts before holidays, they shop on paydays, they brunch when the weather's nice. Humans love this stuff, routines.
Exactly. Third signal, local events. You don't need an army of analysts. Start a simple list in a spreadsheet or notebook. School breaks, festivals, big sports games, tourist season start and end dates. Anytime your city or town feels different, mark it down by week. Over a year or two, those notes become a powerful overlay on your sales or bookings. Fourth, simple weather proxies. I don't mean complex climate models. I mean hot and sunny weekends spike patio traffic, or rainy days equals more delivery orders. You can literally label days as hot, cold, rainy, or clear using your memory plus a free weather history website.
And for anyone hearing data and picturing a blinking server room, don't. This can live in one spreadsheet with columns like date, day of week, sales, staff count, notes. Under notes, you type street festival or snowstorm or prom weekend. Architecting the fix can be that simple.
Now, let's talk about forecasts in a way that does not require a math degree. Think of a forecast as 3 lines instead of one magic prediction. A conservative low, a realistic middle, and an optimistic high. That spread, those 3 lines, is what we call a simple confidence band. You can do this manually. Look at last year's busy period. Let's say your December Saturdays. Maybe your sales ranged from $900 to $1,300 per Saturday. For a conservative forecast, use something like 900 or 950. For the middle, 1,100. For the optimistic, 1,300 or a bit more if you've grown.
And the operational magic here is you staff to the middle, and you have a backup plan for the high. You don't staff as if every day will be your wildest record day, or you'll torch your payroll. But you also don't staff as if it will be dead, or you'll burn out your core team.
Correct. Simple, conservative, and always with a human sanity check. If your spreadsheet says next Saturday is going to be busier than Black Friday, and your gut says, no way, that makes no sense, trust that instinct and revisit your inputs. Forecasts are hypotheses, not commandments.
That line right there, forecasts are hypotheses, takes so much pressure off. You're not promising the future. You're just making an educated guess and giving yourself time to respond. Clarity achieved.
One more thing, privacy. When you collect data for staffing, keep it minimal and respectful. You need sales totals and shift coverage, not individual employee surveillance. You do not need to track bathroom breaks or keystrokes. Focus on outcomes. We need 3 people from 7 to 10 a.m., not on micromanaging individuals.
Yes! The moment the team feels watched instead of supported, they'll resist any staffing changes. If you keep it about patterns and fairness instead of individual performance spying, you'll get much more buy-in.
All right, we've got our signals, hourly sales or bookings, local events, simple weather notes, and a calm 3-line forecast. Now, let's talk about the human side, the schedules themselves. Because when schedules feel unfair, no amount of forecasting saves you. I want you to imagine a seasonal schedule that your team actually thanks you for. One owner we worked with moved from what she called the Hunger Games board, where people fought over shifts, to a system where new schedules rolled out and she'd literally get messages saying, "Thank you for not loading 6 days in a row on me." That's viral energy inside your own staff. Let's start with a few simple rules that protect people. Rule 1: cap consecutive days. For most small teams, a good default is no more than 5 consecutive workdays, unless someone opts in. That means, by default, people get a real break. If someone wants a 6th day for extra cash, they can raise their hand instead of being forced into it.
Operationally, that's a guardrail. It forces you to build in rest, which is how you avoid the everyone's burned out by week 2 of the holiday rush problem. Let the process lead instead of last-minute heroics.
Rule 2: predictable anchors. Give people at least 1 or 2 fixed anchor days or times. Maybe someone always has Sunday off or always works the Monday opening shift. Those anchors create a sense of stability, even when the rest of the schedule flexes around seasonality. Rule 3: shift swaps with structure. Instead of you being the middle of every single swap, create a simple system. For example, a shared group chat
or a sheet where people can post, "I can't work Thursday 5/9. Can anyone trade?" And you set 2 conditions. 1, trades must be approved by a manager, and 2, trades cannot push someone over your hour or consecutive day limits.
Think of it like controlled flexibility. You're architecting the fix by defining the rails, but you're not hand-moving every block. The team gets more control, and you get fewer 10 p.m. texts that say, "I can't come in tomorrow, sorry."
Then we've got micro shifts. These are shorter, targeted shifts that cover the true peak instead of full 8-hour blocks. Maybe your coffee shop's rush is 7 to 10 a.m. Instead of begging your closer to come in early for a full shift, you add a 3-hour micro shift just for that window. For some team members, students, parents, those micro shifts are actually golden.
And your forecast tells you where to put those micro shifts. You see the spike in your hourly sales chart, and you simply align short shifts with that ridge. Efficiency is inevitable when your schedule maps to real demand.
I also love role blends, with consent. In season, you might have someone who's primarily front of house, but during quieter hours they handle simple social media replies or basic prep tasks. The key word is choice. You describe the role blend clearly, you offer a small pay bump or growth opportunity if possible, and you make it opt-in, not surprise cross-training on a frantic Friday.
From an operations lens, that can be the difference between we're overstaffed and bored and we're investing this time into projects that move the business forward. Just don't assign critical, high-risk tasks to brand new temps in those blends during your pilot.
Now, messaging. How you roll this out matters as much as the rules. Here's a simple template you can adapt for your team meeting or message. Imagine you're saying this out loud. "We know the busy season can be exhausting. This year, we're trying a new schedule pilot to protect your time and our customers' experience. You'll see 3 changes. 1, a limit on long streaks so everyone gets real days off. 2, an easier way to swap shifts. And 3, a few shorter micro shifts during peak hours. Our goal is more predictability and more choice. If something feels unfair or doesn't work for you, tell us. This is a test, and we'll adjust together." That's it. Short, honest, choice-forward. Creativity unlocked, not just in your marketing, but in the way you treat your people.
Okay, let's talk tools without scaring anyone away. You do not need a custom app to do this. You need 3 things: a spreadsheet, a calendar, and a bit of automation glue between them. Tool 1, Spreadsheet Heat Maps. Take that sheet Nova described, dates down the side, hours across the top, sales or bookings in the cells. Most spreadsheet tools let you apply color scales. Higher numbers get darker colors. Suddenly, you can literally see your rush hours as dark bands. That picture is your staffing map. Tool 2, Calendar Overlays. Make one calendar for demand, your forecasted busy times, and one for staff availability. Even in Google Calendar, you can create different calendars and color code them. When you overlay them, you immediately see, uh-oh, we're supposed to be slammed Thursday morning, but we only have 2 people available. You catch that mismatch weeks in advance instead of on the day of.
And if you're old school, you can do a paper version of this. 1 printed calendar for demand periods and 1 for staff. Then literally lay them side by side. The principle is the same.
Tool 3, Basic Automation Recipes. Think if this then that rules, not cyberpunk AI. For example, if someone updates a shift swap in a shared spreadsheet, an automatic email or chat notification goes to a manager for approval. Or when next week's schedule is finalized, a text goes out to each team member with just their personal shifts. Latency eliminated. Fewer "wait, when am I working" messages. We've put a deeper tooling breakdown, including template spreadsheets, example calendars, and sample automation flows, in a bonus guide at apexboo.com/seasonal staffing. That way, we can keep this episode concise and you can follow screenshots step by step later.
That bonus guide is where you can copy-paste instead of reinventing. This needs sparkle, not complexity.
All right, time to roll this out in the real world. Let's talk about a low-risk 4-week pilot so you can try all of this without committing to a permanent overhaul.
Week 1 is your prep and communication week. You're going to do 3 things. 1. Pull at least last season's data. Even if it's messy, grab what you can. 2. Sketch your simple 3-line forecast for the upcoming busy window. And 3. Draft that short team message Lyric shared and schedule a quick huddle. The goal of Week 1 is alignment, not perfection. Week 2 is your first pilot schedule. You apply your new rules, cap consecutive days, anchor at least 1 or 2 fixed days per person, layer in a couple of micro shifts where your forecast shows a real spike, and open up your swap system with clear guardrails. Keep this first version simple. Don't try every idea at once.
You also start onboarding any seasonal or temp staff this week. Use a 1-page onboarding checklist. It should cover where to be and when, who their go-to mentor is on each shift, basic customer service standards, safety basics, and how to ask for help. Systems never sleep, but new hires absolutely need guidance.
And keep higher-risk tasks like handling large cash drops, managing controlled inventory, or operating complex equipment with your experienced staff during this pilot window. Let temps ramp up with lower-risk, clearly scoped tasks.
Week 3 is your adjust and refine week. You've run at least one version of the new schedule. Now you ask 3 simple questions after each shift, either in a quick chat or a 1-minute survey. 1. Did we have enough people for the actual demand? 2. Did anyone feel overloaded or underused? And 3. Did the schedule feel fair to you personally?
That fairness question is huge for morale. Sometimes the numbers look great, but one person feels like they always get stuck on the hardest shift. Giving them a voice turns what could be quiet resentment into a constructive tweak.
Week 4 is your mini retrospective and decision point. You sit down, even if it's just you in a notebook, and you review 3 metrics. 1. Coverage. Did we miss sales or service opportunities because we were understaffed? 2. Cost. Did payroll spike beyond what made sense for our revenue? And 3. Team sentiment. What patterns showed up in feedback?
If coverage improved, costs stayed reasonable, and sentiment is neutral or better, you keep and refine the system. If something is off, maybe payroll jumped too aggressively, you scale back micro shifts or adjust your forecast band. The point is, this is a pilot, not a forever verdict. Order creates momentum when you treat it like a test you're learning from.
We also need to mention the unfun but vital layer, labor law basics. Your seasonal staffing system has to sit on top of legal compliance, not next to it. At minimum, make a short checklist before you launch your pilot. Include overtime rules. When does overtime kick in for your jurisdiction and your type of employees? Break requirements. How many minutes and how often for the length of shift they're working? Any youth or minor permits if you hire younger workers, and whether there are local rules about consecutive days of work or maximum daily hours.
Then, verify. This is where you either check your local labor authority's website or, if possible, get quick guidance from an HR pro or legal counsel. Do this before you lock in any ambitious new schedule. It's much easier to adjust on paper than to fix a compliance issue after the fact.
And if you build simple tools, like overtime alerts in your spreadsheet, you can catch issues early. For example, highlight any week where someone crosses the overtime threshold.
Precision wins when you bake it in from the start.
All right, let's land this with 3 actions you can take this week, even if your busy season is months away. Action 1. Start your signal sheet. Today, open a blank spreadsheet or grab a notebook and set up 4 columns: date, sales or bookings, staff count, notes. At the end of each day, jot in the numbers and a 1-line note about anything unusual, weather, events, anything. That's your seed for forecasting.
Action 2. Pick one fairness rule to adopt before your next busy period. Maybe it's no more than 5 consecutive days, or everyone gets at least 1 fixed day each week. Write it down, share it with the team, and use it as a non-negotiable constraint when you build the next schedule.
Action 3. Draft your 4-week pilot outline. It can be half a page. Label weeks 1 through 4 and jot 1 sentence under each about what you'll focus on: prep and communication, first pilot schedule, adjustments, and review. When you put it on paper, it stops being a vague idea and becomes a plan.
And when you're ready to turn that plan into actual tools, we've built a seasonal staffing toolkit for you.
Head over to apexblue.com/seasonal staffing. You'll find plug-and-play templates for your signal sheet and staffing roster, example fair schedule policies and team messages, plus the tooling deep dive Stryker mentioned with screenshots and simple automation recipes.
Use it to move from "I hope we survive this season" to "I have a system and I know what to tweak next time." Clarity achieved.
You don't have to be a giant brand to run a smart seasonal staffing playbook. You just need a few simple signals, humane rules, and a willingness to test and learn. Let the process lead, and the peak season gets a lot less scary.
Thanks for spending this time with us on Navigating AI with Apex Blue, where we help you work smarter and sell more without burning out your team. Until next time, stay smart, stay curious, and stay ahead.